Hi, what's going on, guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. In today's video, I want to be going over the update that's going to be happening soon, which is the spring update, and the stuff that I want to see within this update. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. Hopefully that they add soon, sometime in the future. Just more of like a sit-down talk type of video, and hopefully it's enjoyable to other people, and hopefully some developers within the community see this video and maybe get some ideas, and just spark some new ideas in the community. But if you do enjoy this type of content, be sure to leave a like on this video, be sure to subscribe, and remember that 90% of you guys that watch me on a daily basis are not subscribed. So if you guys can do me a huge favor, subscribe. It's free. You guys can always unsubscribe later. Also, another announcement regarding, well, not regarding the video itself, but I did make a Twitch channel and I'm already affiliate on there, so that's already a big milestone in my opinion. It's better than nothing, you know what I mean? And I appreciate all the people that have been hosting me and just been coming out, just stopping by to see me stream, whether it's Wiz and maybe some other games down the line. All right, now let's get back into the main content. Well, regarding the new update that's going to be coming soon within the spring update, we don't know exactly when, whether it's going to be this month or towards the beginning of April, but I do want to see a couple things. We already know that there is going to be spell animations. This is a pro to me, and no matter what. I mean, not much, I guess, PvP in my opinion, depending on how you view it, but it will, no matter what, it's a pro just because it will speed up the battle way quicker, and it won't be dragged on as much as it is, because some of these spells that they are changing, hopefully they're definitely going to be a lot quicker. It's going to speed up battles in like a long time, in my opinion. My only issue is with the whole spell changes, with the animations and stuff like that. Hopefully they update the bosses in most of the worlds as well. And the reason why I'm saying specifically that is whenever they released or did some changes, for example, I guess you could say sirens usually before the, well, I mean pre-patch was they removed 2 blades and it would give you -50. Now it doesn't even remove the blades, but there are some bosses out there that still have that and they have yet to change it. And I feel like hopefully with these spell animations, hopefully they fix the bosses, like regarding, I know it's going to update all the spells for the players, everything like that, but my issues will be fixing all the bosses as well regarding those spell animations. Because if our spells are updated, for example the dragon, it's going to be hitting everybody. If a boss casts dragon, I don't want them to be doing the single animation on everyone, because then that's technically not updated, you know what I mean? So hopefully they go around, like around the bout where they actually go through some of these bosses and actually like look through and see they have the updated card now, and it'll be just be a quality of life change is how I think of it. But that's one of the topics that I want to talk about, which everybody knows spell changes are becoming, and some changes regarding PvP and some other stuff is going to be coming. Another thing I want to talk about in this video was this Twitter poll that we had on Twitter, I think like a while back, I think in the middle of February, and that was regarding new spells that they're going to be adding. So this was on Twitter, but this was on Wizard101 devs, and they had polls going on regarding which spells would they like to see that were TCs, and they would be turning them into actual spells. And in my opinion, that's actually a good idea, because there's a lot of TCs, in my opinion, that a lot of people do use, but they just never turned into like actual spells. So we're gonna be talking about some of those and give you guys my opinions. And this is actually, no, this was a Twitter poll in January, surprisingly, towards the end. But hopefully these spells are coming into the game. We don't actually know, but it would make sense that they made a whole poll about this and specifying for each school, because there's polls regarding balance, death, fire, like literally every school, and it was a Twitter poll. People got to decide what they wanted. And my issue is all these polls, like the winners of these, are for PvP. And I already saw someone tweeting about it saying, don't worry about it, it's mainly for PvP, don't worry about it, because this game is PvP and PvE, so a lot of people were clashing. Some of these votes are mainly for PvP, and then you'd see, why is this spell getting so much hype around it, like why are so many people voting for it, and that's mainly for PvE. So an example would that be a life spell, and 42% of people voted for the life spell for Brown Spider, which what it does is it hits you and then it does a damage bubble for life. And then the other percentage was 36%, which was Leaf Storm. You can get that on the Kookaburra pet, and it's basically a 4-pip sandstorm that hits all. Pretty straightforward. And people were clashing over this because PvE community wanted a 4-pip AoE that's like similar to Rat Spin in a way, so that's why they wanted Leaf Storm, while the PvP community wanted Brown Spider because it would help out life in a big direction. So what they could just do, in my opinion, which I don't understand if they are going to be doing this or if there's something in the back of their mind, why don't they just release both spells? And I don't think it'll ruin the game entirely. Like, you're having Brown Spider, people are going to be using that in PvE, or I mean PvP. I mean, not many people are going to be using PvE. And then just for PvE people, you got Leaf Storm. And then the argument is they already have Rat Spin. But it's just people wanted Leaf Storm as another alternative. And that's very understandable. It's very understandable. So we shall see what they do with this. And then at the same time for Ice, Polar Swarm and Frost Dragon won, and it was a Steel Ward. And then you look at the spell, it's a 3-pip. Obviously these spells can be subject to change. They could be like reworking them completely different. Like for example, Monster Mash is actually going to be one of the things for death, and the other thing was Red Ghost. By 0.1%, Monster Mash won between Red Ghost and Monster Mash. The PvE community wanted something that's Monster Mash because they love the spell. You know, people that like PvP are mainly doing it for the enjoyment of the spell. Well, the PvP community was like, hey, we want Red Ghost because it does damage and it gives us a bubble. And you can see the theme here. Both life and death spells are, the people that want the spells for PvP are spells that hit into a bubble. And that's another topic. Life and death do not have a damage bubble. And Balance just recently got theirs not too long ago, so I hope to see in this update damage bubble for death and life, and that would be actually viable. And they can easily just make it a quest or something. Hopefully they don't change the old bubble and just completely get rid of the minus 75 healing or the plus 65 to healing for like life. Hopefully they don't just completely scrap that idea. They can still keep that, like add a separate vendor or something, and still give us the opportunity instead of just like how power play just got shafted. I mean, no one uses power play in my opinion still, but that's still TC, that's still roaming around, you know. So, and obviously Clockwork Spider's just power play, it just hits into a power play. So those spells aren't completely gone, they're integrated in some other way. But I hope for then this update we do get a new bubble, and they've been teasing some bubbles here and there on Twitter regarding just like a heart bubble and stuff like that, and that can mean anything. That can literally mean anything. Just in my perspective, it means that hopefully life and death, they will be getting a damage bubble, and it actually helps out them in PvP, and it might help out in PvE as well. Like there's no harming PvE at all regarding that sense. This update will hopefully buff PvE in a big way no matter what. PvE is going to get a big change just because of the spell animation. That's already a big part, and we shall see what they do with that. So that's my little topic beyond those, and some PvP changes as well. Obviously there's been some talks about other stuff. I've heard people say damage caps, I've heard some resist caps, and don't quote me on that type of stuff because I don't play PvP. If you guys want to see PvP updates and stuff like that, or like questions regarding it, I am completely the wrong person to ask. You can ask people like Blake PvP, Devo, HK, like those types of streamers. You guys can ask those types of streamers because they do PvP. I am more of a PvE guy, so I stick to my roots. Hopefully I'll do PvP one day. And another thing is, I hope that we have a key boss. It's been a while since we had a key boss, and people regarding, oh, you know, we just had Fellspawn. But the thing about Fellspawn is like that's just for Dragoon, and yes, Dragoon is the top tier, you know what I mean, right now. But the rates on Fellspawn is just completely terrible. I mean, it's meant for that for a reason, because look how much extract and look how much stuff you have to get. So it's understandable that the rates are lowered. But what they could do is maybe like on double reagents, you know, buff the rate of Feldspawn a little bit, you know, something like that. They can have like some type of thing where another one of those membership weekends or double rates or something like that on bosses, so you get better chance of loot. They can easily implement stuff like this, but it just comes down to what they want to do. But hopefully we get a new key boss, and if you guys saw the thumbnail, I want to see something that's above a gold key, and it wouldn't be platinum. I know some people during my Twitch live streams were saying platinum. Platinum wouldn't make sense in that scenario. I think they would do obsidian because Pirate 101 has obsidian keys, and it would make sense because we went from wooden to stone to gold to now obsidian. It wouldn't be diamond or anything like that type of way, or iron. Like, I think obsidian key bosses just make more sense, and hopefully they get more difficult, because I remember when Omen was first released, you know, a lot of people were farming him. He took longer to, you know, fight. Then the whole like shadow audit, you know, that type of thing where like it changed shadow pips by a long shot. You know, the rating was completely different, and how much damage you take if you don't use your or depending on your backlash. And Omen just got shredded because literally all his spells are shads. So he doesn't do anything else. If you look clearly at the wiki, all of his spells are shads. So hopefully, you know, we get some bosses or even update old bosses. But I would love to see some new key bosses, either drop in some gear. Hopefully not you know, new hat, new robe. I wouldn't mind a new robe for Storm, but not for the other schools, because, you know, people have been farming Tennyson. I wouldn't want to see no boots. I would probably like to see some type of new pet. Something maybe like a new spell that's integrated into it, or some new talents. I would like to see a new wand maybe for some schools, or even a stitchable wand. I would definitely like to see some stitchable gear as well. And they can easily give the boss maybe like a new athame or something like that. I wouldn't want a ring personally. Maybe they can even give a better version of an executive or director ring, and give it an extra slot or something like that, you know. That stuff I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't want to see new robes or new hats, new robes, new boots, none of that type of stuff. I wouldn't mind seeing other stuff though. So hopefully they get a key boss soon. I would love to see some type of stuff like that. Also, I do want to see some new one-shot dungeons, and what I mean by one-shot dungeons, I mean like the exalted duels. I don't mean the one-shot dungeons that you guys see in the shop. I don't like those personally. But if they ever do update those, I would love to see you know, cosmic versions of those. That would actually be kind of fun, and maybe some new gear regarding those. But I do want to see some new duels regarding, I don't know, maybe like old bosses that they get remastered, you know, like how they did from Yao Yardi or Carcopatria. I wouldn't mind seeing a Jade Uni boss. I wouldn't mind seeing some other bosses. I would definitely like to see some type of that. They can easily implement for example a Jade Uni duel, and you fight 4 of the Unis. That would be something cool, and they all have cheats regarding that. And they can give some new gear, maybe it's stitchable gear, maybe it's jewels, something like that. I would like to see some new duels, or even they can even remaster Lord Nightshade and have an exalted version of him or something like that in duels. I would hopefully want to see new duels, because I feel like they're pretty fun to do in certain scenarios. You know, especially for someone who is just a new player or something like that, and you want to do something at your house or something like that, and you have somebody, you know, that has those duels, you can at least do those, and it's actually pretty cool. Or some type of new trophy that you can have, because right now it's capped out exalted, so they can have an obsidian trophy and, you know, level up duels. But I don't think we'll get new duels till like 150, but that's just me, because 150 seems like a good area to add new stuff like that, or even a new dungeon like Darkmoor. And I talked about that on my live stream before, like how Morgantha will probably be remastered in some sort in this scenario, and, you know, she might just come back and that'll be like the 150 dungeon, like how Malister came back. Morgantha might come back. That's just my interpretation, but don't quote me on that. And just another thing I wrote was for key bosses, maybe some key bosses regarding spellaments. And I'm not saying new spells, no, I'm saying spellaments for like Ship of Fools, all that type of stuff. Those spells that were in packs. A free-to-play route would be just people farming certain bosses or certain key bosses for those spellaments instead of opening packs. I think that would be good for the community, instead of people like forced to spend money like on Ship of Fools or something like that. And, you know, the argument is, oh well, they don't have to get it, you know, they could just get Deer Knight. But at the same time, sometimes some of those spells, for example the fire one, is kind of unfair. because you have to open packs for it and then level it up. So I wouldn't mind seeing like a boss or some sort of new key bosses, and they drop spellments. Also, I do want to see new stitchable gear in all the worlds. It doesn't have to be all the worlds. Me personally, I wanted to see new gear specifically for Mirage. And you might be saying, why Mirage? This is just my opinion. I even want to see like new gear like in Krakatopia or even Marley Bones, that type of stuff. I want to see new gear in those, and the reason being is some of these enemies that they have like their own personalized gear, that gear looks better than the gear that you actually put on. Because I talked about it in one of my live streams as well on Twitch, was that the Mirage enemies have better looking gear than the gear that you actually can buy, and there's not that much crafted gear that you can have that's like stitchable. So I wouldn't mind seeing new stitchable gear. I think it would be pretty cool. Hopefully they add something like that down the line, but this is basically all the stuff I wanted to see within this update. Didn't want to make this video too long, but pretty straightforward. It's probably like a 16-minute video, but that's all my ideas about the whole spell elements, new animations, new spells, damage bubbles, all that type of stuff. That's just the type of stuff I want to see in this game. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any new topics or anything like that you guys want to discuss, leave it in the comments below that you guys want to see regarding the new update, spring update, or even stuff that you guys want to see down the line within Wiz. But these are just a few things I listed on top of my head before recording this video, because I did want to record this video. I was talking about it on stream, and hopefully you guys enjoyed me just talking about stuff I want to see within the update, stuff that we're going to be seeing in the update, and yeah. So if you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that type of stuff. Also check out the Twitch channel, link down below. Follow, I'm close to 100 followers on there, so I appreciate if you did follow. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.